This is VSiN, the sports betting network.
The numbers told the story, they always do.
It's one of those idiots who believe in analytics.
This is a numbers game with Gil Alexander on VSiN.
Good Monday morning to you. It is a numbers game at VSiN, the sports betting network, VSiN.com, Game Plus, iHeartRadio, YouTube TV, and of course, Sirius XM Channel 158. It's Gil Alexander. It is Kelly Midland as well.
Good
in
morning.
the house. Oh, I'm exhausted.
Me too, Gil. It's
like
a long weekend of football.
It's like I played in every one of those games. Yet not a single play in any of them. Wow, but it's glorious.
This is so good.
This is what I was saying all last week. You just have to enjoy every second of the anticipation of it while it's happening, everything going on, because there's one more week of multiple football games, right? Well, I mean, unless you want to count two multiple, right, next week. But this is really the last great weekend coming up, and then it's sort of, you spiral into, or at least I do, a little bit of a depression from it all. Like, oh no.
It's a sad letdown.
It's over? Oh no.
I think luckily for us personally, we can kind of spin. Our brains have to start spinning towards tennis and golf anyways.
Yes.
But it's always sad when football slows down.
It was a glorious Thursday and Friday night of college football for me betting wise. It was a great Saturday, and then yesterday everything came crashing down for me.
Yeah, a very meh break even-ish weekend for me. So, I don't know. I got to enjoy some of the football in the end. All the teasers got home that I connected with the Jags, so that was good, but like nothing else was great.
We're going to go through this. It's not going to become, literal guessing line style, although I did guess these three games that have already been established for the division round. Two of my three guesses were wildly off.
I haven't looked at your guesses yet.
Wildly
I'm
off.
a little intrigued by this now.
Really, well.
I was very off on one game at Betty yesterday. So.
Let's say this. One of my guesses is a real bad guess, so it's on me. The other one I'm pretty amazed by. So we'll get to that as we go on. We'll do it in chronological order. We'll spend about 90 minutes doing that, and then we'll do some other things. We'll talk about our awards. This is an annual tradition that we do. Yep. Our NFL awards that you and I would vote for.
The A&G Awards Show.
The A&G Awards Show. It's the A&G. Oh, A&G. I thought you were like, who's A and who's G? I'm G. Who's A? We'll do that coming up, and Adam Burke will join us as well. Shall we do this one by one? We'll get into all of it. We'll recap it all from the weekend in the National Football League. Let's do it. Oh, yeah. Shout out to my mishpucha, Chrissy Andrews. Here in spirit.
Yeah, man.
As always. That's right. All right. Chronologically, we do this again. We recap everything for the previous weekend. We talk about the games moving forward. Let's do them in chronological order, how they're going to go down division round.
Yeah, division round. So we do have established, in case you've missed, days of the week for these games. We don't have exact times slotted so far. So
okay.
Saturday, first one on the board, Bills at Broncos.
Bills at Broncos. 2 Saturday, 2 Sunday. Bills at Broncos. The Buffalo Bills, the number 6 seed, getting by the Jaguars, the number 3 seed yesterday, taking on the number 1 seeded Broncos, who, of course, are going to come off the bye. Let's talk about the Jags and the Bills yesterday. I had the Jags.
Yeah.
Was surprised that the Bills were the favorite in this game. It was Placo. If you go back 8 football games now, right? So the 5 that we just seen in the NFL in the playoffs, the 2 college football semis, and go back to the Ravens-Steelers NFL finale, Week 18, which had huge, obviously, playoff implications. 8 football games. 6 of these were bangers.
Incredible.
6 of these were incredible. Indiana and New England, not so much. We'll get to those. But as far as Buffalo and the Jags, another one of these games that just came down to the end. Second time Jacksonville had the ball yesterday, 2nd and 10 at their own 40. Trevor, picked by Shaq Thompson. Buffalo set up at the Jacksonville 33, but a 3-and-out. Prater, 50-yard field goal. Good. Prater, who had quad injury problems. Good from Fitty.
Yeah, he looked fine.
3-0 Billiards, 2:54 left in the first quarter. Then Jacksonville with Parker Washington in protocol for a minute there. That was an interesting game with protocol, right? In and out.
Yep.
7 plays, 65 yards. Tootin for 20, 14 and 13 on the drive. Trevor to Thomas Jr. from 3 outs, 7-3 Jags, first minute of the second quarter. Then Buffalo on the kickoff return, ensuing kickoff return, Buster Brown hits Ray Davis. He fumbles. It's recovered by Devin Lloyd. Jacksonville is set up at the Buffalo 36. this is the moment in the game where you're like, all right, Jacksonville can really put their foot on the Bills' neck. Mm-hmm. But 4th and 2 at the 9, Lawrence for 2 yards. The virtual measurement says first down, even though it appears to the naked eye that Trevor's shin might have been down. Buffalo correctly challenges. Again, it's ridiculous using Hawkeye in the NFL. Overturned.
This whole process is so clunky now, Gil.
So dumb.
Like, that was the perfect example, right, of how clunky this can be. Like, hey, this is where we're going to spot it. Now come in and do the Hawkeye. Now we have to let the Bills challenge the spot of the football.
So dumb. Again, in tennis, there are no bodies covering the ball where it lands. In football, there are bodies. So it's a human decision as to where the ball is, kind of, sort of. And then it ensues from there. It ain't really Hawkeye. Anyway, Buffalo from their own 8 now with the reprieve on a drive where Allen hit his hand on an offensive lineman's helmet. They go 10 plays, 92 yards. Allen to Coleman for 36, the big play. Allen in from 2. Allen's leg twisted on the touchdown. 10-7 Bills, 5:37 left in the second quarter. So at this point, he had a leg tweak. He had his hand hit a helmet, and then earlier he went into the tent for a little protocol check.
He's Terminator, man. Can't take him down.
Indestructible.
He's inevitable.
10-7 Bills. Last part of the last sequence of the first half, 2nd and 6 of their own 25 for Jaguars with 15 seconds left. Trevor to Parker Washington, who's back in now for 34 yards. And then Trevor is ruled to get the snap off with a fraction of a second left. The spike with a fraction of a second left. So they give the Jaguars another play. Is also offsides on the Bills. So Cam Little gets a 54-yard field goal try, which for him is a chip shot, misses it. Wide left. It remains 10-7 Bills. They trade field goals. It's 13-10 Bills now. Now, at this point, the Tony Romo part of the game sort of creeps in.
Oh, God. I feel like I've been nicer than most with
this
him.
This was an opera for him of the worst kind. At different times, he said this was going to come down to a big turnover, a big Josh Allen play, or an inch here and an inch there. I think that covers it.
I was liking the first half, how many times he mentioned Cole Bishop was the one of the best safeties he had seen all year. He just kept saying that.
Some other gems. Quote, every play call in this game matters, Jim. And also, if the Jaguars win this game, they have a shot at going to the Super Bowl. All true, by the way.
Factually true.
All true. All right, Jacksonville now, down 13-10. 11 plays, 62 yards, took 6:03 off the clock from their own 38 after a shank. Big 3rd and 4 pickup at their own 44. Trevor to Thomas for 18, then 3rd and 2 at the Buffalo 30 to Parker Washington for 14. 5 plays later, Lawrence to Washington from 6 out, and the Jaguars lead it 17-13 with 12:55 left. But has become the case of the whole weekend. We knew what was coming. Back and forth and back. Buffalo, 9 plays, 65 yards on a drive where Gabe Davis eventually had to be carted off. He looks to be donezo. Get to 4th and 1 at the Jacksonville 19 with 9:56 left. Allen for 4. Next play to Kincaid from 15 out, 20-17 Bills, 8:56 left. Then Jacksonville, 10 plays, 77 yards with 4:53 taken off the clock. Trevor to Washington for 31 on 2nd and 10 from their own 44. The big chunk. 4 plays later, Trevor to Travis from 14 out. Touchdown, 24-20 Jaguars. That drive was like the old Clemson days. Trevor to Travis against the Citadel. That's what it looked like. 24-20 Jaguars with 4:03 left. Buffalo from their own 34 now with 3:58 left. Anyone holding a Jaguars ticket like myself had any notion that we were going to win this game at this point? It just felt like Josh Allen was going to do it.
Yeah.
And do it he did. 1st and 10 at their own 44. Allen to Cooks behind the defense for 36. Brandon Cooks showing up to the Jacksonville 20. 2 minutes left. To Knox for 2. To Shakir for 4. Jacksonville uses their first timeout with 1:16 left in the fourth quarter. Then to Shakir for 3. 4th and inches at the 11. You know the moment. Jacksonville uses their second timeout. 1:10 left in the game. Then Allen on a tush push. Remember Sean McDermott, a big detractor of the tush push. Also of the tuchus push. Cousin of the tush push. Allen for 10. The biggest gain in tush push history.
It's incredible.
To the 1. Initially ruled a touchdown, but clearly down at the 1. 10-second runoff on review. 1:05 left. Jacksonville on the doorstep. Down 4. Jacksonville uses their final timeout. Buffalo on the doorstep. Jacksonville uses their final timeout. So, what do you do here, Kelly Bidley? Do you score the touchdown?
Oh, I do it.
Or do you get cute because Jacksonville has no timeouts left and milk it because you know you have Cam Little on the other side of the field?
Right.
Maybe take a knee. What do? A lot of criticism.
I don't even know. The problem is you don't even know how serious. Like, afterward, do you think they were really trying? Because it was Jacksonville did the full, like, let them go.
Well, Jacksonville completely let them go.
Right, yeah. That's what I'm like, I don't even know.
I'm talking about the Buffalo
You know
side.
how I know, but, like, you know how they do sometimes you can run that and then you just go down, but it was like Josh Allen was, like, in the end zone before you could even think about it.
Well, I think for those who say the optimal strategy was absolutely what people are saying, which is Buffalo to take a knee. But
I'm okay with it, man.
I'm okay with it too.
We talked about this earlier in the year.
Because if you get too cute, let's say the problem is if you do the kneel down and then you don't get in, you are going to be derided for this, not for the offseason, but for the rest of your life.
I mean, we talked about it last week. Like, if that plays out, we might be talking about Sean McDermott losing his job today.
That's right. Buffalo scores. Anyway, Jacksonville gets the ball. Now they're down 27-24. From their own 23 with 59 seconds left, first play, Trevor picked off a tip by Cole Bishop. Tre'Davious White on the defense, showing up, causing the deflection. Cole Bishop with a pick. Ball game. Bills win. Jags lose. Jags go into the postseason with an 8-game winning streak. Doesn't matter anymore. The AFC South champs are done. And Buffalo, the Josh Allen, could this be the year with Patrick Mahomes not in it? Dream continues.
It's incredible.
I guessed Denver -3 because they're the number 1 seed. Figuring that a week off, they'd get that kind of respect. Shocked to hear what?
Bills, 1.5 point favorite on the road.
I was kind of amazed by that. Has there ever been a number 1 seed off the bye? A dog? Coming back on a numbers game.
Laptop or phone, couch or sportsbook, VSiN goes where you go. Wherever you watch VSiN, the experience stays seamless. Live shows, replays, and sports-specific clips all at your fingertips. VSiN Watch puts you in the driver's seat. Available in Roku, Samsung, Amazon, iOS, Android, app stores, or get it direct from the source at VSiN.com. Download VSiN Watch today on your favorite app store and join us on the Sports Betting Network.
This is VSiN, a network of sports betting analysts, writers, hosts, and handicappers, all here to help you become a more confident bettor. We broadcast live every day from Las Vegas, the sports betting capital of the world, and from studios across the country, giving you insight from every angle of the action. Take VSiN with you wherever you go with the VSiN Watch app, or catch us on streaming platforms and regional sports networks. You can also listen live on SiriusXM channel 158 and on radio stations nationwide. Check out VSiN.com as well for betting tools, exclusive betting splits, AI-powered player prop projections from Opta, pro picks for every game, plus in-depth betting guides and articles built to give you an edge. From sharp betting analysis and daily best bets to insider interviews and expert breakdowns, VSiN is your trusted source for everything happening in the world of sports betting. See everything we have to offer at VSiN.com and become part of the Sports Betting Network.
On the next edition of Prop Points, we'll start off the show reacting to all the action from Wild Card Weekend and see how many of our favorite player props cash out. The Steelers host the Texans Monday night to close out the Wild Card round, and the grinder Tom Brawley from FantasyPoints.com will join the program to give out his favorite props for Monday night, and I'll pop out my favorite prop as well. I'm John Hansen. Tune into Monday's edition of Prop Points at 1 p.m. Eastern, only on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
A numbers game on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
We are getting ready for Big Game 60. Hey, I wonder what game we're talking about.
Yeah.
With a big deal to match. Save $60 off a VSiN Pro annual subscription when you sign up using promo code ANG. Become a VSiN Pro annual subscriber. Bet smarter all year long with full access to our daily best bets from VSiN hosted guests, real-time DraftKings and Circa betting splits, AI-powered prop tools and matchup analysis, 24/7 video and full show replays on the VSiN Watch app, plus all our betting guides and expert picks for the Super Bowl and upcoming March Madness. Don't miss out on this big game deal. Visit VSiN.com/subscribe and use promo code ANG.
ANG is an A-numbers game.
To save $60 off a VSiN Pro annual subscription today. That's VSIN.com/subscribe. Sorry, got you off guard on that one.
Oh, you're fine.
My bad. We get tweets.
Hey, it's the first of, I'm going to guess the first of 40 times that we do it here.
Absolutely. We get tweets beating the book. Nick Shea had to re-listen to the Megapod this morning, but man, did Drew Dinsick absolutely nail the handicap of the Pats-Chargers game on the Megapod. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. We'll get to it. Tony Coco, I never bet the NFL, but I made a bet yesterday because of you. I decided that if the Niners got to +6, that would probably qualify as a Gil Alexander obligation bet, like the Nationals were. The fact it won is almost besides the point. Good for you, Tony Coco. Mm-hmm. Good for you. This is from Joe Ryan. 2 more things in McDonald's favor. Talk about Mike McDonald for Coach of the Year. Kelly and I will do our awards ceremony a little later on the show. Is that he played an extra away game than Vrabel. And of the 4 teams remaining in the NFC, 3 of the teams are from the West Division. Yeah, man. NFC better than AFC. NFC West, the cream of the crop of the NFC. Totally agree. Mm-hmm. Alpha Sports Betting, California Kids 7. If Pittsburgh loses tonight, he says, I think Tomlin is gone and Robert Saleh is the Steelers head coach next year. You know the only thing about this Tomlin is gone talk to me that I just don't buy?
What's that?
Has anybody in the Rooney family indicated to anybody that this is a possibility?
Yeah.
They never let go of coaches.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen. Why are we so convinced of that with Tomlin? He's not going anywhere.
I don't really know that I'm expecting it, but I get the Steeler fan frustration.
Yeah, but I'd like to be in their shoes.
You're right, I know. Well, constantly winning games.
So, it's like, yeah, never had a losing season in 18 seasons. Oh, it's a tough break for you guys.
Can I circle back to a couple things in that game before we move on?
We're going to go back.
The Prater field goal.
Yes.
The very first one.
Totally agree.
Things that, will be lost in history because the
totally
kick was
agree.
made. A delay of game penalty in that situation is so unacceptable. It's amazing.
Sent it back from 45 to 50 yards.
And with a kicker who's been injured. And that you allow that to happen and he has to kick a 50-yarder and makes it. That was wild. We were just talking off air. Khalil Shakir, he is so good in these big games for Buffalo. Feels like he is so important, but then he'll disappear for like a month during the regular season. He's so inconsistent for Allen, man. Just all Josh Allen. All Josh Allen. He's incredible. He's the best player in the National Football League.
I think that game, though, comes down. I mean, look, the game was Plinko, right? Mm-hmm. If you had the Jags, I don't know how bad you can feel. I don't feel terrible about that game.
Me either.
Different from some of the other games. Let's put it that way.
Jags and Panthers, you can hold your heads high today. The rest of you teams. Whew.
Spence at Bet a Nickel. Please talk me out of a Seahawks-Rams moneyline parlay at -106. The rubber match feels inevitable. And Shrek McPhee. Herbert looks like he's on the Andrew Luck path. If they can't keep his elite offensive line healthy, he's got to get out of there. Oh, Kelly. I smell a Kelly Bidlin, Justin Herbert rant coming up. By the way, after the Bills game, did you hear this wonderful Bill Cowher commentary on the post-game show? Just to add on to the Tony Romo madness.
Did you have the same realization that I did this weekend of how I never watch those shows besides when we get to this point?
That's right. And you leave the TV on before you turn channels, and so you hear it. Bill Cowher, quote, in the playoffs, this is after, of course, seeing some of these games. In the playoffs, you have to kick field goals and punt because it's not the regular season. There's no next week, unquote. That's the kind of insight we've been missing.
Mm-hmm.
All right, what's next on Saturday?
All right, next up on Saturday, Rams at Bears.
Rams at Bears. So, again, my guess on that first game was Denver -3. Sorry, before we move on to that. I said Denver -3. It's Buffalo -1, and I asked openly at the end of that segment, has there ever been a number 1 seed coming off the bye in the divisional round that has not been a favorite? And I have an answer. Can you guess, Kelly, when this has been?
I'm going to guess somewhat recent and one I'm forgetting.
January 2018. So we're talking about 8 years ago.
Okay.
The Philadelphia Eagles were home underdogs of the Atlanta Falcons by 2.5 points. Remember, Carson Wentz was injured. And Eagles divisional round game there, the twist, backup Nick Foles, and the Falcons opened backup Nick Foles was in, and the Falcons opened as a 2.5 point favorite. The Falcons won that game 15-10, making the Eagles the first number 1 seed to lose at home. Wait a minute, is that true? In 2018? Was that the year after they won the Super Bowl? Wait, that sounds like the final score is wrong.
I think so.
Yeah, but that was that game. They were dogs, according to what I'm saying. That would be the only other time. That would make sense, too, because it was Foles and not Wentz. Obviously, the Eagles would go on to win the Super Bowl, so I don't know about that score that I'm seeing right there.
Also, I'm going to call an audible on you on games, because apparently my odds screen is different than what I'm seeing on websites. So Saturday, Bills-Broncos, and then we have 49ers-Seahawks.
49ers-Seahawks.
Yeah.
All right. 49ers, in case you missed this yesterday, the middle child of the games yesterday. 49ers beat the Eagles. 49ers, 6 plays, 76 yards, and 3:09 to start. Second play, 2nd and 11 at their own 23. Purdy to Demarcus Robinson for 61. 2 plays later, Purdy to McCaffrey for 11, then CMC for 3. Purdy to Robinson from 2 out, 7-0 Niners, just over 3 minutes in. Philly then responds, 10 plays, 63 yards. Jet sweep to Goddard from 1 out on 3rd and goal, 7-6 Niners. Elliott doinks the extra point off the left upright. Man, what a terrible season for him. 6:16 left in the first quarter. Next time Philly had the ball. 4th and 2 at the San Francisco 48. They go to shotgun. Remember, no Lane Johnson, no tush push. Intended for Smith, knocked away by Upton Stout. Philly, next time they had the ball, 16 plays, 94 yards. From their own 6, 4th and inches at their own 43. Hurts for 3 on the tuchus push. 4th and 2 at the 9, though. Hurts to Goddard into the end zone. But Juergens illegal man downfield. Then they pick up the flag and they say, nope, it's a touchdown. 13-7 Eagles. 6:08 left in the second quarter. Niners respond. First play, 1st and 10, their own 23. Purdy to Kittle for 6, and he ruptures his Achilles tendon. Can this keep happening to the Niners with all the injuries? Washington and Arizona have lost more games to injuries to starters, but nothing like the all-pro caliber of these Niners players. Next play, Purdy to Jennings for 45. 4 plays later, 4th and 2, the Philly 18, Pinheiro. They decide they'll kick a field goal, 13-10 Philly, 2:50 left in the half. And then San Francisco next time with the ball from their own 23 with 1:51 left, 1 timeout. They convert a 3rd and 11 and 3rd and 10, but are a little too nonchalant late in the drive with no timeouts. Can't get a field goal try when Purdy fumbles the ball in the final play, triggering a runoff. Philly almost doubled up the time of possession in the first half. They lead at 13-10. Second half, San Francisco first time with the ball, 1st and 10 at their own 46. Purdy picked by Quinyon Mitchell. Philly couldn't do anything with it. Their 3rd straight 3 and out after that. Then Philly, the next time they had the ball after a 25-yard Morstead punt, they're set up at the San Francisco 46. They settle for an Elliott 41-yard field goal to go up 16-10 with 2:11 left in the third quarter. San Francisco from their own 33, Purdy to Juszczyk for 27 to start. He was huge. Then Jennings to McCaffrey from 29 out to start the fourth quarter and end that drive. 17-16 San Francisco, a little trickeration 8 seconds into the fourth quarter. And then Kevin Burkhardt, who I guess is an Eagles fan, he's like, Niners down 3. You never felt like they were in it. If any, what are you talking about? If anything, it was how can they not be ahead in this game? Mm-hmm. That's how I viewed it. Mm-hmm. Philly then a hold sets him back, a 3 and out. Niners doing this, by the way, with Eric Kendricks, Curtis Robinson, Garrett Wallow, and Jalen Graham elevated from the practice squad as their linebackers. It's incredible. San Francisco up a point, 2nd and 7 at their own 44. Purdy picked again by Mitchell. Philly 2nd and 2 at their own 46. Siegel flag for an unnecessary roughness. A late slide by Hurts helps lead to a 4th and 4 at the San Francisco 15. They settle for an Elliott 33-yard field goal. They decide to kick it there. 19-17 Eagles, 8 minutes left. Then San Francisco from their own 34 with 7:55 left. 10 plays, 66 yards. Purdy to McCaffrey on 3rd and goal from 4 out. Pinheiro wide left on the extra point. 23-19 Niners with 2:54 left. Philly, all 3 timeouts in the 2-minute warning. 3rd and 5 at their own 40. A.J. Brown straight drops a would-be first down pass. 4th and 5, Hurts to Goddard for 15, though, to the San Francisco 45 with 2 minutes left. Then to Devontae for 10, to Devontae for 14. Clock continues to move. Hurts loses a yard, then has to throw it away on 2nd. 3rd and 11 at the San Francisco 21 with 48 seconds left. Down 4. Off the hands of Smith. 4th and 11 with 43 seconds left. Philly uses their first timeout, which ensures that this play will be for the game. They would have had a puncher's chance had they kept that timeout, broken up by Eric Kendricks, who's been there for a month, a career practice squad player around the league. Niners win. 23-19 Niners. The Niners streak, which would be 23 in a row if it gets there this year, of missing the playoffs entirely or getting all the way to the conference championship, remains intact. Last time they lost in the wild card round or divisional round, you have to go back to the end of the 2002 season, where the Niners lost to the Buccaneers in the Buccaneers' eventual Super Bowl run. Jeff Garcia versus Brad Johnson back then. My guess here was a brutal one. We'll get to it on the other side. It's a numbers game at VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Time. There's nothing more valuable. It's what drives everyone to make the most of every moment. We celebrate living large in the now. In a city where time disappears, we create experiences that electrify the soul and memories that will last forever. We go big. We go all night. And here, everyone is invited. So get loose and get loud.
This is Circa. You'll have the time of your life.
Elevate your sports betting game with VSiN's exclusive betting splits. Stay ahead with real-time market trends and track bet percentages on any matchup. Then uncover the edge by comparing them to the amount of bets placed to find out where the sharp money is headed. Upgrade to VSiN Pro to access betting splits, live odds, line moves, power ratings, and in-depth game analysis. Go to VSiN.com/pro to join VSiN, the sports betting network.
This is VSiN, the sports betting network.
A numbers game on VSiN, the sports betting network.
Profit X, the number one place for college basketball and college football player props. They offer all players in all schools in every state. Profit X is available. As we get closer to March Madness and end the college football playoffs, take advantage of Profit X's 20% purchase match. Download Profit X now and experience the future of winning. Use promo code VSiN to get started. Yes, so that last team, again, like these Broncos, number one seed to not be favored in their divisional round game, Philadelphia Eagles, after the 2017 season. They beat the Falcons as dogs, 15-10. Just had the winner and loser incorrectly, obviously. I was like, the Eagles with Nick Foles, of course, famously go on to win it all. First Eagles Super Bowl title. We get tweets beating the book. Billy Charlebois. Still floored by what I watched this weekend, 46.8% of the total points scored in the NFL this weekend were scored in the fourth quarter.
It's wild.
Must-watch TV. 4 of 5 games, the fourth quarter was the highest scoring quarter. Incredible. Let's just say that. Really, that should have been the first thing I said today. Is there any better entertainment than this? Just period.
Oh, no. I mean, this was, I know we were building it up leading into it last week. Like, these games were insane.
What's better than this?
Like, there was a point on, I mean, what? But when you were sitting there watching the end of the Bills-Jags game, I was like, what is the past couple days of football have just been insanely incredible.
Incredible. Of course, the Bears and Packers at the top of that hill. Mm-hmm. Michael Burns, respect for Allen, immense with that line. Yeah, with the Bills being favored, absolutely respect for Josh Allen. It's all Josh Allen. Torch D, the one who put the satin in your panties. Hope Josh Allen's ready for Bountygate 2.0. Oh, no. Sean Payton, can't get rid of it. As Greg Williams is not in town, though. He's not walking through that door. Jeff Kuykendall. I know in this day of analytics, people seem to think they know ideal strategy, but in the Bills' case, you absolutely take the touchdown in the lead. You dare the football gods to screw you, and they will. Take the touchdown and let the defense hold Jacksonville with no timeouts. 100% with you. Mm-hmm. I got a lot of texts from people, they should have absolutely knelt on the, at that point and then tried to milk it and score. I was like, yeah, you just can't do that. You just can't.
Who did we see do that in the early in the regular season? Was that Detroit? I'm screwing this up.
I don't remember.
But even then, you and I were both fair about that. We're like, hey, it worked out, but it's
that's right. It might have been
gutsy.
Detroit.
I mean,
it takes a bit of onions. JC 562076, yay area. That is all. Happy Monday, fellas. It's a shout out to the Niners. Brian Schaefer 31. Brian, I don't understand the last part of your tweet, but he says after that Eagles game, I'm dumbfounded how the OC is still on the team. He should have been fired in the locker room last night.
Oh, he probably will be.
Yeah.
Frauds, man. Frauds.
Well,
good on the Niners.
What we learned from that game was very simply put. Well, she's talking about Kevin Patullo, of course.
Yeah.
What we learned in that game was that it turns out you just can't flip a switch. That was the question all week, right?
Right, yeah.
Can you flip a switch if you're the Philadelphia Eagles?
It's the old, they are who we thought they were, right? Like, what did we see out of the Eagles all season that we thought, like, I bet them. I'm an idiot. I laid 3 and thought that the Eagles were going to be able to flip that switch and this 49ers defense was going to have all kinds of problems. But no, the offense is a disaster. They can't do anything consistently. And, yeah, I would expect big changes are coming this offseason, which is crazy because they just won a Super Bowl. But this is, I don't know, it's as damning as anything. When you win a Super Bowl and roughly bring back the same group, and that's what you do all season, just kind of play with your food.
A.J. Brown's not playing again for that team.
No.
That's for sure. I don't know if Jake Elliott is.
And he's so good. Like, that's what's so weird, about all of this.
I think the Jalen Hurts thing is the most interesting, though.
Yes.
Jalen Hurts, 1 year removed from winning a Super Bowl and being, the toast of the town, let's say.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't use his legs this year the way he has in the past. Maybe that time has passed. No shame in that. Did it through college. Did it throughout the early part of his NFL career. Obviously, we all thought he was drafted too high. Turns out he was drafted too low. So I'm not knocking anything he's done. But does it feel like it kind of could be over for him?
Man.
Just in terms of, not over literally, but like that we're on the other side of the arc for him.
I don't think so. But it's concerning, I think, if you're a Philly fan, hearing some of the reports you heard all season about kind of what was going on in the locker room and division and stuff, and then this is how it ends. Yeah, maybe. You say no shame. I'll say a little bit of shame, I think, with him not running the ball in this game. I mean, Josh Allen goes into that game with a multitude of injuries already, adds 2 or 3 more in the first half, and still... It's at the end of the game when they need every inch. It is, we know what we're doing. We're going to Josh Allen.
I don't mean no shame in that game. I mean no shame in his career to this point. But this season, I mean, Saquon, I get it. He had offensive line injuries too, but Saquon from last year to this year, what was that? Buddhist Man caught the back and forth, fourth and back. Aaliyah could have also been a cameo reference.
I just caught your look into the camera, so I knew it was something. I knew it was something I was missing.
About what?
You dropped a little look at the camera after you did
back and forth, fourth and back. John Massey, are we sure the organization that has had 3 coaches since 1969 is going to fire their head coach after a playoff appearance? John, that's what I was saying earlier. Everybody's already got Tomlin gone if the Steelers lose to the Texans tonight. I don't know what evidence there is to support that. The Rooneys don't let coaches go. King Walrus, not sure if you saw this. Oh, he's referring to this. Yeah, did you see this with all the Niners injuries? So George Kittle with the ruptured Achilles. By the way, and let me just say this. I'm a guy who has a Mike McDonald ticket. But as you know, if you've listened to this show, the last few weeks of the season, despite having that ticket and making the case for why I think Mike McDonald is coach of the year over Mike Vrabel, if you just step back, isn't Kyle Shanahan really the coach of the year based on what this team has done?
My friend, that was my last note I wanted to make sure we brought up before we moved on from that game. As much as you're going to hear a lot of Philly hate today, yes. another Kyle Shanahan masterclass, right? And Christian McCaffrey.
Saleh deserves credit as well. Yeah. I made this case again. This is not me making it after yesterday. What they have overcome, and yes, Washington and Arizona lost more games to starters, but nobody lost them to these kinds of players. The Bosas and the Warners of the world, and the Kittles and the Pearsalls and the Trent Williamses and Purdy for half the year. It's incredible what they've done. And did you see this thing? Peter Cowan put out a low-frequency electromagnetic field that is outside of Levi Stadium. Can degrade collagen, weaken tendons, and cause soft tissue damage at levels regulators call safe, quote-unquote. An NFL team whose practice facility sits next to a massive electrical substation. So the theory being that Niners injuries are being caused by this electromagnetic field next to their practice field.
I have not seen this.
Yeah, everybody's got a theory. Jeff Cam, Niners should have went for 2 on their last touchdown. These great analytics guys like Shanahan missed this one a lot. Late in the game, you go for 2 to make it 6. The way kickers have been, 5 is no better than going up 4. I agree with that. You probably go for 2 there. The one that Pinheiro missed, that kept him up 4. You probably are supposed to, you should go for 2 there just because you force the team, if they score a touchdown, to make the extra point afterwards.
Okay, yeah. Very glad that was tweeted in. You're right, because Shanahan, you're awesome. I was screaming at the television during. Like, what was that? What does going up 5 do for you?
Well, I think there was something worse in another game, which we'll get to.
Yeah. I was stunned by that.
Yeah. By the way, back to that guess from that previous game. So Niners and Niners have the Seahawks.
Mm-hmm.
Niners going to face the number 1 seeded Seahawks once again. They split the season series this year once again. Most recently, of course, the Seahawks went into San Francisco on that Saturday night. Remember, the Niners did not have Trent Williams after the very first play of the game in that game. And Seahawks dominated that football game. Remember how bad of a football game that was?
Yeah.
It was very similar to the Patriots-Chargers yesterday. My guess was way lower than it came. I made this guess right after the Niners won, so I'm like, let me get in there. I said Seahawks minus 3.5. I cut it in half.
Wow.
Yeah. Now, my guess is bad. This is the one where I said my guess was bad, right?
Yeah.
The Bills-Broncos thing I am surprised by. I can't believe the Bills are favorites. I'm surprised by that. Maybe it's not 3, as I guess it with Denver. Maybe it would have 1.5, but I'm surprised by the Bills being a favorite. This one, I just know my guess was bad, right? But now 7, is there a Fred Warner possibility in this game? Because now it's like, okay, well, we're losing players. On the other hand, Fred Warner might come walking through that door. That's something. And then there is, again, the looming specter of Sam Darnold, who I don't think we're quite over the possibility of
I don't think so
Sam
either.
Sam Darnolding, if you will.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I've got Seahawks NFC ticket, not multiple. I do have 1 on them. It's kind of funny that we had different reactions to this. I opened up my odds screen and saw 6 at stations, and I bet it pretty damn big, Gil. With kind of assuming this line was going to move this way and give myself an opportunity to buy off some of it later in the week if I want to. I mean, they were 3-point road favorites in that game just a couple weeks ago. down in Seattle. I was like, see it at 6, I thought it would be on the other side of 7. So anything under that, I made a pretty big bet on the Seahawks. I might come back and buy off some of that, but Kittle goes down, like that feels
That's
big.
huge.
I hear you on the Darnold stuff. That is the biggest and only reason why I probably will take some of the 7.5. And okay, if it lands on 6 or 7, I'm okay then. But
I feel exactly about this game as I did about the Eagles-Niners game. What was my line? My line was, if you told me the Eagles blow out the Niners, I wouldn't be surprised. If you told me the Seahawks blow out the Niners, I wouldn't be surprised. The other part of that sentence was, but if you told me the Niners won, I wouldn't really be that surprised either.
I'm with you there. I think the other one's interesting. That's where I guess I thought the line was going to be that, but like Buffalo, Denver, because that's basically what we saw in Jacksonville.
More games to get to, obviously, division round. We're only halfway through. And we got to talk about tonight's game between the Texans and the Steelers. It's a numbers game at VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
VSiN's player prop projection tool is now available for the NBA. Get projections for points, assists, rebounds, and more powered by Opta AI. On VSiN.com/NBA props, we line up our projections against the latest DraftKings odds so you can quickly spot mismatches and find value before the market adjusts. The NBA player prop projections tool is available exclusively to VSiN Pro subscribers. Check it out now at VSiN.com/NBA props and join us on the Sports Betting Network.
Join the guru, John Hansen, at the intersection of prop betting and fantasy sports on Prop Points, only on VSiN.
You know what? I'm going to blame Andy Reid for cronyism because Matt Nagy stinks. A guy like Jefferson, you got to be a part of the solution, not part of the problem, and he's been part of the problem.
John and his guests will help you find the connection between the two and give you his expert advice on how to capitalize when a number is too good to pass up. Prop Points, weekdays at 1 p.m. Eastern on VSiN.
A numbers game on VSiN, the sports betting network.
Back on a numbers game live from Circa Resort Casino, downtown Las Vegas. Gil Alexander. It's my little buddy Kelly Bidley, everybody. He's growing out his hair.
That's right, man.
Think it's going to, be long hair at some point? Legit long?
I don't know. I'm going for that sexy Rob Ryan look.
Are you gonna have a man bun at some point?
I don't know. We'll see. See, man.
Wow, this kid.
I mean, it's just a beginning. The smart money would be on some Monday, like 3 weeks from now, just me being back to short hair because I got frustrated with it eventually.
We have two different viewpoints on Sam Darnold on Twitter. iHeart SEC podcast says his name is Sam Darnold. But Judd O'Connor says the truth serum is Sam had 2 bad games with a pass-happy coach in O'Connell. McDonald has a game plan closer to the vest. I'd be surprised if he put all his eggs in the Darnold basket and strays from his Week 18 strategy. 3Jack H 3131 Gil, although postseason is not supposed to matter, Shanahan is now 300-1 at FanDuel, while Kalshi has him at 49-1. Is it worth a flyer? So let me be clear on Coach of the Year. Once again, I have a McDonald ticket. Nobody else. Do I think that the real Coach of the Year is actually Shanahan? I do. But I think McDonald over Vrabel for reasons I've already stated. Do I think Shanahan will actually win? No, because I think these voters will adhere to the rules by and large. They will not include a playoff game. They didn't get the number 1 seed. It will be that simple in many of their minds. If you want to take a flyer, sure. I just don't think he wins. You?
I don't think so either. I was just trying to look. I'm pretty sure they already had to turn in stuff too.
I think so too.
So I don't think. I mean, I will lose my mind if we feel like voting was affected based off of games that are not supposed to count for it.
No. Mariners Geek, you guys and your favorites, Romo, Cowher, sure, legit target, sure. But Al Michaels will not be slandered even if his cold corpse appears on the telecast. No, you're right. I will not slander Al Michaels. I have too much respect for him. Poor guy. He's probably not seeing things as clearly as he once did, but I'm not going to slander. He's an octogenarian, for God's sakes.
I mean, next to Robo, I don't know how many times I thought something about Robo, but I go, man, Jim Nantz, good for you. Just good for you having to work with that.
Hoops by Hoots tells us this would be the 4th time in the last 40 years that a team off a bye in the divisional round listed as a favorite. I mentioned the last time, right after the 2017 season, when the Eagles were 2.5-point dogs versus the Falcons, the Nick Foles Eagles, who eventually went on to win the Super Bowl. Eagles won that game 15-10. But there's a couple other times it happened as well. 2011, 2012, the Niners were 3.5-point dogs versus New Orleans. I don't remember that. San Francisco won. And the 96-97 Panthers, yes, 3.5-point dogs versus the Dallas Cowboys at Carolina, won that game. That I do remember.
That one I don't remember.
I don't remember the Niners one. Interesting. So this would be the 4th time if the Broncos close, that is, as underdogs. All right. Anything on tonight's game, Houston and the Steelers?
I laid 3 with Houston. On these opens last week, like 8 days ago. I'm not feeling as great about it after we had a cavalcade of guests.
This is exactly my point.
Right. Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt you.
No. There's not much to interrupt. I'm basically done. I mean, it was how many people did we hear? Bob, Rufus, all these guys look at the Steelers, small favorites, and they're a 3-point dog. I'm not feeling great about it, Gil.
And my handicap is very simple. That Aaron Rodgers looked like 42-year-old Aaron Rodgers looked like 32-year-old Aaron Rodgers, let's call him, because he wasn't pressured against the Ravens. So he can conjure up great Aaron Rodgers. But if you put any amount of pressure on him, his 42 years of age really shows. And the Houston Texans are the number 1 team in generating pressure this year without even having to blitz. So that's the simple handicap on this, to use the Chernoff phrase, right? The simple handicap on this is that. But yes, we have respected people who are like, no, Steelers. And would I be shocked if the Steelers pulled something out at Acrisure with Renegade playing before the 4th quarter? No.
It's also like, this is so narrative based to say, right? But it is like Aaron Rodgers, after you left Green Bay, right? This is what it was all for, right? These types of shots.
Right.
So, I mean, we could say whatever we want to say about Aaron Rodgers off the field. Still got respect for the guy on the field and what he's done. And this is a big-time moment. You need a big-time quarterback in games like this.
And Bob makes the point they're much different with DK on the field.
Yeah, that very much.
I have not made a bet on it yet, but I will. I think I will be on the Texans when all is said and done. Total 38. Any thought on that?
I think it's easy to say under, right? But I don't know that I'm rushing for that. Again, I do expect. I don't think Rodgers is going to go down quietly. I think this is. I think we get another good game. I really expect this to be another good game tonight.
Yeah. For whatever reason, I haven't been able to pull the trigger on the Texans yet. All right.
Really nothing on the total, but these are light threes, right, Gil? This is
3 reduced juice. Yeah.
Kind of like for you that hasn't made a bet yet. I don't think there's any rush to get on the Texans.
No rush at all.
I don't think I'd be shocked if this moved to 2.5.
That's what I'm waiting on. All right, next Sunday,
we have the one game established. That's where we're going to go?
Yes.
Okay, Rams at Bears.
Rams at Bears. We're just going to do the Rams part here because the Bears need a whole segment.
Yeah.
I've never written more in a blurb in any one game than I have in that Bears-Packers game. As far as the Rams are concerned, this is how the weekend began. Rams is a 10-point favorite against the Panthers, and the Rams eke out a 34-31 win. Carolina started the game with a 4-and-out. Remember, they went for it, 4th and 1 at their own 45. Bryce incomplete, intended for James Mitchell. The Rams then go 4 plays, 45 yards, 1:51 off the clock. Puka with 3 catches out of the 4 plays. Stafford to Puka from 14 out, 7-0 ramifications, 11:35 left in the first. A couple more times that Carolina had the ball, a couple series later for Carolina. 1st and 10 at the Rams 44. Bryce picked off on a deflection by Kobe Durant. Rams proceed to take it 7 plays, 48 yards in 4 minutes and 1 second. Puka in from 5, 14-0 Rams. 12:16 left in the second quarter. If you had Puka scoring 2+ touchdowns, you already cashed it. Carolina response, though. 7 plays, 65 yards, 3:23 off the clock. Bryce to McMillan for 14 and 22 on consecutive plays. Chuba Hubbard in from 1 after a PI in the end zone. 3rd and goal to 3. 14-7 Rams. 8:53 left in the second quarter. Then the Rams, Stafford to Higbee for 36, the big play. They settle for a Mevis 46-yard field goal. 17-7 Rams with 5:24 left. And then after Bryce missed a wide-open Chuba Hubbard, there's a 3-and-out for the Panthers. The Rams go 3-and-out after Stafford misses a wide-open Devontae, but Trevor Etienne muffs the punt, and it's recovered by Troy Reeder of the Rams. So the Rams set up at the Carolina 40, up 10 with 2:44 left in the second quarter. They get to 4th and 3 at the Carolina 19. Stafford incomplete to Higbee after it appeared like he could have run for it.
Yeah, got that too.
And then Carolina proceeds to go 5 plays, 81 yards, PI for 28. Good acting job by Coker. Then to Coker for 37. 3 plays later, Bryson from 16, 17-14. Rams with 37 seconds left. Rams punt. Then after Puka straight up drops a would-be touchdown, Stafford hit him in the numbers, of all people, on a 3rd and 10 pass to the Carolina 46. And if you had the Panthers in the first half, oh my God, what a win that was for you, ATS. If you had the Rams, my condolences.
Mm-hmm.
Rams up 17-14 at the half. All right, second half. They trade field goals here. 20-17 Rams now. Late third quarter. Carolina 4th and 4 at the Rams 48. Bryce incomplete, intended for Chuba. Rams then, 3rd play, 3rd and 13 at their own 45. Stafford throws short, intended for Devontae, picked by Mike Jackson. Carolina goes 4 plays, 72 yards in 1 minute and 40 seconds. 2nd play, 2nd and 9 at their own 39. Bryce to Coker for 52. Then an unnecessary roughness on Landman. Hubbard in from 3. 24-20 Panthers. Early seconds of the fourth quarter. Rams respond. 11 plays, 67 yards and 5:47. After Nakua breaks up a Scott would-be pick in the end zone. That is a huge play in that football game, maybe the biggest.
Yeah.
Then it's 4th and 1 at the Carolina 30. Kyron for 2. 5 plays later, Stafford to Williams for 13 out. 27-24 Rams, 8:47 left. Carolina 3 and out. Rams get the ball back, but they punt after a hold sets them back. Ethan Evans punt, then blocked by Simmons. Carolina set up at the Rams 30 with 4:12 left. Bryce to McMillan for 16 to start. Hubbard for 7. Then Landman bats down a Bryce pass. 3rd down, Bryce to Coker from 7 out. Touchdown. 31-27 Panthers, 2:39 left. L.A. Rams, this is your life. Matthew Stafford, this is your life. You're down 4 with 2:39 left. Rams proceed to go 7 plays, 71 yards, and 2:01 with all 3 timeouts and a 2-minute warning from their own 29 with 2:34 left. To Puka for 7, to Devontae for 10, 2-minute warning, to Devontae for 6, to Puka for 18, to the 30. 1st down, Devontae drops a pass, 1:04 left. Then to Kanata Mumfield for 11, to Colby Parkinson for 19, touchdown. What a pass, what a catch. 34-31 Rams with 38 seconds left. Carolina from their own 28 with all 3 timeouts. Incomplete. Fourth down, low pass, drop by Horn Jr., incomplete, and the Rams hold on. 34-31. Whew. If you're the Panthers, head held up high, as Kelly said earlier.
Yeah. Hell of a game. I was not expecting that. It was the biggest spread of the weekend, right? I was not expecting it to be that close.
Do you feel worse about the Rams, or do you take the attitude, I'm glad they